TK421, why aren't you at your post? TK421, do you copy?
Hello, this is Pilot TK421, leaving my post to bring you a post. Alright everybody, I don't have any gameplay planned for you for this one, but I did want to cover something that I think is relatively important in this game, and that is loot farming. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean just, running missions and grabbing the loot that drops. But there is a really good way that you can go about maximizing the type of loot that you get, and that is in external components here. As you can see, I've got a setup here that I use. It is marked in green here, the green club. And I do also have another set here that is marked with a D for defense. This is what I use for, harder level areas and whatnot. It isn't used really for loot running, just mostly, trying to clear out a new area or something like that. If I'm using this character, I usually use my Lepic character because he's higher level and whatnot. And anyway, to make a long story even longer, the various different external components, there are auxiliary power units. They fit in this slot here. There are sensor units which fit in this slot here. There are memory units which fit in this slot here, and there are CPUs that fit in this slot here. As you can see, on this one here, I've got a Kuiper Shard drop rate increase modifier of 0.092 times. You're probably thinking, okay, well that's an awfully low increase in drop rate, but it's actually quite a significant improvement in drop rate, because that is a decimal representation of a percentage. So basically, if you were to multiply that by 100, you would get the actual percent value, and in order to do that, you would just move the decimal place 2 places to the right, just to make it easier for you so you don't have to do any math. And if you take a look at it that way, you actually now have a 9.2% Kuiper Shard drop rate increase. The module drop rate increase modifier here that you also see in gold is 11.5%. How do I know that? Because I just moved the decimal point 2 places to the right, because we're multiplying it by 100, and that gives us 11.5% increase, which is a actual significant drop rate increase, considering that some of them have like 10% or less drop rate. So any drop rate is a good one, but yeah, you basically want to try and get as close to 999 as far as you can get, and that'll give you up to say a 99% drop rate increase. I don't think there's any that high, but the interesting thing is that you can actually get these external components here in like you see here, there's a Kuiper Shard drop rate and a module drop rate. This one here has a consumable drop rate increase modifier, which is, fun fact, pretty much anything that you find in here, from enhancement material all the way down to amorphous, and I think even maybe miscellaneous. But the miscellaneous, yeah, these guys here would be affected by the drop rate too. The organic void shards, not so much, I don't think. But everything else from enhancement material, well, not enhancement materials because those don't actually drop, but the core materials that you need to get weapons, those that drop in levels, they'll have the increased drop rate. Basic materials for crafting, those definitely will, and even the amorphous materials have an increased drop rate because of that. And if we take a look here, this shield unit that I have here has a firearm proficiency gain modifier of 11.8% and a gold drop rate increase modifier of 9.9%. Again, we're just multiplying those numbers by 100 to get our percentage, and boom. And we've even got equipment drop rate increase modifiers. So in case you want to pick up more guns or external components, stuff like that. Even reactors will drop more if you've got an equipment drop rate increase modifier. And that's pretty much about it for that. The reason why I bring that up is because it does get kind of hard to, keep farming missions and whatnot, but with the increase in drop rate modifiers, if you can build yourself a nice set for farming, you don't necessarily have to use all of these pieces in a set. For example, let's just go here, do that, and we'll do that. And as you can see, the only thing that we do get a bonus to is the Kuiper shard drop rate and the module drop rate, which is really kind of what I'm going for at the moment. It's just more modules and some more Kuiper shards would be nice. Perhaps gold or firearm proficiency would be okay too, but don't really need those right now because this weapon is maximum already. But if I were to go out and, say, grind up some levels on a weapon's proficiency or a character, I would, swap out this one here for, say, this one here, where I get an increase in character experience. Or I would probably swap out this guy here for this guy here and get firearm proficiency gain modifiers, as well as gold increase modifiers too. The reason why you don't really want to swap out all of them unless you're going to be running around low level areas, and that's perfectly fine too, because there are a lot of modules that drop in low level areas that you do need, and they only drop in those low level areas, but these can help significantly increase the rate at which you can actually get said modules that you're looking for. You just need to replace your external component here with the appropriate one. Like if you're, say, wanting the extra character experience, you'd grab a sensor unit that has character experience gain modifiers. And I will note one thing on the external components. As you see here, there's a consumable drop rate and a character experience gain modifier. Those are only found on the sensors, just like the Kuiper shard and module drop rates are only found on the auxiliary power units. And the firearm proficiency and gold drop rates are only found on the memory units, and the where to go? There it is. The equipment drop rate increase modifiers are only found on the processors. There is one other thing that you can get for the processors, and that's an item acquisition distance modifier. And what that will basically do is let you pick up items from slightly farther away, so you don't have to run right over top of the item to actually pick it up. Which is also a good reason why you want to keep your item inventory as low as possible, so that you can actually keep picking up stuff, because, well, let's just say that it's not entirely 100% guaranteed that something laying on the floor of a level is going to actually end up into your lost and found. So I just like to pick them up, leave the battlefield cleaner than when I came, so, it makes sense, you can always just scrap this stuff and you get tons and tons of consumable resources. Like for example, if you take a look at my materials here, I've got thousands of some of these things that I don't even use yet because I don't have any need for them yet, but I will have a need later. But that was all thanks to, grinding up levels on other characters. Speaking of which, I actually have another character. I've got a Valby character unlocked that I'm grinding away on, so I'm gaining more resources and modules and stuff there. But yeah, I think that will pretty much do it here. Let's just go out and do one quick loot run here. I'm just going to run over to Echo Swamp here. It's on private already. This one's nice and close, so let's go here. And just for purposes of testing, I'll just do this, even though I don't need the character experience or the proficiency. I'll take the gold and other stuff. Now, because I do have slightly lower, well, significantly lower defenses, I've got like 10,000 less defense. I'll have to be a little bit more careful, but let's just go ahead and take a look here. In case you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm just building up the ability meter. And I do that because then I can come here, use that, and I've got full magic again.
Descendant, Enzo may have told you that Jeremy seems to be up to something. The armor pulses have stopped, which means he must have put it back inside the quantum storage box used by the Descendants. We can't allow Jeremy to take the iron heart again. That much is certain.
Looks like we have no other choice but to go to the zone where we picked up his voice and investigate. Powerful enemies in here. We should focus on the battle for now. I'll deliver the info about Jeremy to HQ. If they have any new intel, they'll send it to us.
I'm just checking to make sure that there's nothing left lying around. You can see we got some fairly nice stuff. A whole bunch of stuff actually. What's this? Ultimate sight. Nice. I'll have to check that out on a weapon later. Yeah, as you can see, there's a fairly decent amount of stuff dropping just by using those external components. So I think that being said, I am just going to go back to Albion here. And like I said, that's about it for this one. Here's a quick look at some loot that I got there. It's all pretty much junk. One thing I will actually mention is junk filters. You can set the level of stuff that you want to exclude. Basically anything level 55 or higher and that's rare or better will be excluded from the junk filter. So that when you say press shift, you can designate all of this stuff as junk that is below level 55, and then you can just press another button there and immediately junk all of that stuff for instant inventory access. And the same goes for the reactors here. You just set it the same way. You can even get into excluding specific boosters on each of the reactors and whatnot to exclude, but I usually just go with about 2 levels lower than the highest level area that I have access to, and I usually just exclude rare or higher. In the purple stuff that is level 55 and above I get to keep, and anything that is purple and level 55 and below it will just automatically be junked. And I can just do that here, and bam. And I can even do that here if I had picked up anything there, but I didn't. So, like I says, that is about it for this one. So, for now, I will take off, and thank you for watching the video. So for now, take care, stay safe, have fun, and I will hopefully see you in a game sometime.